Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Detroit City Sportscast. I am Adam Hernandez. With me, as always, Garrett Comatz. Garrett, how you doing tonight, man?
I am doing pretty good, bud. Like, we're in September. Labor Day's ended. It's not yet fall, but the leaves are falling off the trees. Um, Shit's real, man. And so is like
This
every last month of baseball and Lions starting. Yeah, we're here.
this is like seriously like the best time of the year. I really truly believe this is the best time of the year. You've got obviously college football's already started. You've got NFL starting this weekend. You've got baseball, wrapping up the regular season, getting ready to go into the playoffs. You can finally look ahead and kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to the off seasons ending for the Red Wings and the Pistons and City as well. You've got that season winding down as well, and kind of that final playoff push here. Um, See if they're going to be able to get within the top eight of the East. But we've got a lot to get to tonight in kind of a short span here. But here's what we kind of have going uh, in this show. We got to preview the Lions season because obviously they start this Sunday night, or not the Sunday night, the Sunday afternoon in Green Bay against the Packers. A big NFC North divisional matchup to start the season. I mean, you really can't ask for anything better at Lambeau Field. Uh, so we're going to get into that. We've got some questions to run down. We're going to run down through the schedule. I know that's kind of cliche, but it's still fun. Who gives a shit? Um, and kind of give our predictions, real quick, game by game, and just see where we end up and, kind of match that up to see how things, turn out at the end of the season. And I'm counting on Garrett to remember this shit because he always seems to do that. And,
Put me on the spot, why
um,
don't you?
yeah, well, well, you mentioned what was it the other night that we all predicted the Royals to win the AL Central, and I don't think that's going to come to fruition this year. So, but it wasn't a bad prediction. But anyways, we got the Lions to kick the show off with. We're going to get a little bit of the Tigers the second half, and then finish things out with kind of recapping Detroit City FC, their weekend, their past weekend, and what's coming up for them this coming weekend. So, anyways, you ready, Garrett? Should we get to it?
Let's get let's get into it.
Okay, like I mentioned at the top, we've got the Lions taking on the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field this Sunday, 4:25, I think is the kickoff, if I'm not
Yep.
mistaken, Garrett. Uh,
CBS has the game. Remember, folks, this is a CBS game, not a Fox game. It might throw people off, but CBS. Our parents' people's age will like it because CBS used to cover the NFC, but that's my thing.
they cover the NFC, then they cover the AFC, then they're back to whatever.
Yeah, both CBS and Fox will take one or two of each conference
Yeah,
every week, it seems like.
yeah. So, but let's get into it. I mean, just jump right into the line season because it is here. Preseason's over with. We got week one upon us. Um, the Lions have a lot to live up to this year. I mean, this is uh, really the first time in a long time that they've had so much to live up to. Um, I think last year they were still kind of ahead of the curve there, going 15-2. Unfortunately, kind of flaming out in the playoffs with that loss to the Commanders. But it's a new season, a lot of changes on the coaching staff this year after losing Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson to the Jets and Bears, respectively. So there's a lot of question marks. Nonetheless, though, this is still going to be a good team, at least in my opinion, and a team that is going to be contending for the Super Bowl, again, in my opinion. So, first question to you, Garrett, and I'll go ahead and give my answer after. Who is the most impactful player on offense for you this upcoming season? Who is going to be the most, let's just say this, who's going to be the most important player on the offense, in your opinion, moving forward this season?
I mean, this is, and I think this is good that you say the most important because important may not always be the one with the most statistical, whether it's running, passing, receiving, anything like that. Because to me, as much and a lot of people know I'm big running. I love Jameer Gibbs. I love David Montgomery. I always say run the fucking football. That's what killed us in January. However, I think this is a big Jameson Williams year. I think he is. You have Amon-Ra St. Brown, obviously, as your number one out and out, and obviously, but you look at what Jameson Williams having in 1,000 yard year with less than 60 receptions last year, if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken. Now maybe looking more and more like the outright number two with Isaac Tesla behind him. Um, I'm really and a new pass and a new offensive coordinator and a new offensive scheme. How are you going to be able to utilize the talent of Jamison Williams? Because breakneck speed, the ability to gain yards after catch, end arounds, all of that, and a hopefully full focused season. Where's the fucking wood that I can knock out while saying it? There we go. But I mean, I think obviously Gibbs and Demo, you need the running game. We should run the ball more. But to me, most important is JMO.
I couldn't agree more. That's going to be my pick as well. It's JMO. Tim Patrick is gone. Um, you could say that, that was because of Isaac Tesla, and that's probably very well the reason, but not having Tim Patrick on this team also shows that the coaching staff has a lot of confidence in Jamison Williams. They're not going to get rid of a veteran presence like Tim Patrick just because Isaac Tesla is proving that he can play at the NFL level against a bunch of other guys who are also looking for roster spots.
Right.
Um, I mean, that is one of the big reasons, but that's not the only reason. Jamison Williams has like you mentioned last year, what he was able to do in limited snaps. This year, I anticipate Jamison Williams is going to play most games again, knock on wood. Um, and he is going to solidify that number two wide receiver position, right behind Amon-Ra St. Brown. And the reason why JMO is also so important too is just because of how many different schemes you can run him in, or you can use him in. You can use him as a downfield threat. Just have, or he just uses his breakout speed to, just blow past the secondary and get open. He's able to block for you. He has no issues going and throwing in a block for Montgomery or Gibbs or whoever it is that that's taking the ball from scrimmage. Uh, he can give you some yards out of the backfield as well. Again, that's something that's another way that they utilized him last year, and I anticipated them, doing that same exact thing this year. Um, but maybe most importantly is JMO has a lot to prove that, for himself this year as well. Um, he is, I hate saying that he's playing for a job because he's going to have a job in the NFL next year. Um, he's got to prove his worth though to the Lions. And in my opinion, he's already done that, but I don't think he's done that in the eyes of uh, the team itself. I don't think he's
Right.
done that in the eyes of Dan Campbell. I don't think he's done that in the eyes of Brad Holmes. If he did, I don't think that they would go out and draft Isaac Tesla where they did. Um, so I think it's definitely Jameson Williams.
So now we've named the offense. You and I are thinking very familiar on the offense.
Defense. Do you want me to take this one first?
Yeah, you go first on this one.
I'll go first in this one. I'm going to go with Aiden Hutchinson. I know that sounds obvious. It sounds, again, cliche. However, this defensive line was without Aiden Hutchinson for most of the season last year. Coming off a broken leg, has had a monster camp from everything that we've heard that they had to implement a Aiden Hutchinson rule during scrimmages and workouts and everything because he would just blow past the offensive line, get to the quarterback. And if they sat there and they stopped every play that Hutchinson was able to do that, the offensive line wouldn't be getting any work in. So um Aiden Hutchinson definitely it just seems like in the modern NFL, your defense will live and die by the pass rush. And Hutchinson has proven himself. I think he's proven himself already to be one of the most dangerous pass rushers in the entire NFL. The biggest question mark with him now is how is he going to recover from that broken leg last season, and how is he going to hold up to a double team? Because he's most certainly going to be getting double teamed this year. And is that something that he's going to be able to adapt against? So definitely for me, Aiden Hutchinson. What about you, Garrett?
There's so many different directions I can go in with this. I agree with the pass rush, although I'm going to save them because I think there's another thing we can talk about of concerns that we have because I think that's like the number one when you look at the overall 53 man roster right now or about to be a 53 man roster. I'm going to say Brian Branch, and that is you could go Kirby Joseph, who had 9 interceptions last year, got paid in the offseason. And you know I'm a big Kirby Joseph guy. But I think Brian Branch is someone that can stir the drink defensively because, you know, you can, again, versatility. Where are these you going to feature? Can, um, will he be forced into playing different roles based off of what happens in the first few weeks of the season? Bodies going down, etc. Um, or is he going to be playing in his preferred slot? And that where he plays means a different matchup nightmare for opposing offensive coordinators to figure out how to keep him in check.
Yeah, I think Brian Branch is an interesting one too, just because I think he has the potential to be um, a top three safety in this league. And um, it's going to be fun to watch him develop into that because I think he will become that. And this Lions safety room is already really good. And it's only going to get better. So I can't wait to see how that develops this year. But I like that pick. I think this one might be pretty self-explanatory, but we'll just give our opinions on it. Most impactful rookie this year.
I mean, most impactful rookie, Isaac Tesla. Um, it is. I want to see how he's going to feature. Is he going to become that like quick slot guy that you can kind of get in, or are they just going to throw him in with and just have multiple people running along at you to kind of divert? I think what he showed in the preseason was impressive. But again, you mentioned it. You got people fighting for roster spots, people playing to get, you know, people playing to make a living in the preseason nowadays, which is now what preseason has become for the most part. So, how is he going to do now? Whether it's starting in Green Bay, I know there's talk that he was. I think he sat out practice today. So is there going to be any issue with him on Sunday? Who knows? But I think out of the me, I mean, that's going to probably be the one that I'm looking forward to. I mean, Tyreek Williams obviously is going to be could be a fun thing in the defensively on there too. I mean, Tate Ratledge, you were just part of the hair combo with Tesla, but I mean, to me, it's clear cut, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's got to be Tesla just because you saw what he was able to do during the preseason, and he's already getting comparisons to Puka Nacua,
Hmm.
um, which may be a little early, but that's quite the comparison that people are already making. And if the Lions are able to get a Puka Nacua, type wide receiver out of Isaac Tesla. Um,
Not
a
just that, a Michigan native
yeah,
Lions fan as kid.
an already deadly wide receiver room for the Lions just became just completely unfair.
Yeah.
Um, and I think, yeah, like I said, I think you have to go with Tesla in this sense. But I mean, I'm with you too. I mean, they're the Lions' top three picks this year, whether it be Tyreek Williams, Tate Ratledge, or Isaac Tesla, those are could be three very impactful players, in their own right. Tyreek Williams, obviously the Lions need on the defensive line. And then Tate Ratledge, where if he when he does get into games this year, where is he going to be featured? Because there's been talk about him playing center.
Yeah.
Obviously, given the holes that we have at center, after what happened this past offseason. So I'm going to go with Tesla, but again, I wouldn't be shocked if any one of those top three picks right there were able to make it. And then also, it's also important to know that Ahmed Hassanian too is going to be brought back after the injury settlement has ran its course with the Lions. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell said that he will be back with the team. They just said that this was the quickest way that they could get him back on the field. Um, I guess I trust what they say in that sense because that was a huge surprise when they announced that they were going to let him go. I was like, what the hell's going on here? So it's good to see that he's going to be coming back. Um, because I'm excited to see him play too. It's a guy that there are a lot of eyeballs on during this preseason and during camp, and I want to see how he stacks up and if he's going to be able to contribute. So, um, okay, you took the last one first, so I guess I'll take this one first. What am I most confident about this year? I'm probably most confident about this offense in general. I know there's a lot of people worried because Ben Johnson's not here and how, this offense is going to adapt and evolve and work out in Ben Johnson's absence. I'm not that concerned. Um, John Morton has been here before.
Yep.
Uh, Jared Goff is a veteran quarterback. Um, Jared Goff is the guy that knows this offense inside and out. They've got a ton of weapons on offense, whether it's Laporta, whether it's Sonic and Knuckles in the backfield. That offensive line is still very serviceable. Whether you're talking about Taylor Decker or Panay Sewell, who is you know not just one of the best offensive linemen in the league, but one of the best players in the entire league. Uh, you've got those wide receivers. You also have depth too, I think. I think you've got a lot of depth when it comes to the wide receivers, obviously with Tesla
Mhm.
this year. I think you've got obviously got a lot of depth with in the running with the running backs. You've got a lot of depth too with your tight ends. So my least concern is definitely the offense. What about you?
I'm going to narrow it
Or
down
what
and
do you
just say the
what are you most confident about? I'm sorry.
most confident about is not just the offense, but the run game.
Okay.
I'm going to narrow it down here because I think there's been a constant that I've said in our year plus almost 2 years of doing sportscast. We are at our best when we with this iteration of this Lions team when we run the fucking football. The best one to, and I'm not, and I don't think I'm just saying this because it's biased local. I think it's the honest truth. We had the best 1-2 run combo in the NFL.
I
And
totally agree.
and when we stray away from that formula is when we suffer.
Saw it
I
last year in the
put
playoffs.
you play the, and that's my point. You play the worst. You do the next to last or the worst run defense in the entire National Football League, who you're murdering them on the run, and you revert away from that formula, and you give Washington confidence, and they bite you in the, and then they make you pay for it. And that's why, everybody felt the way that they did on January 18th, 2025 and after. But I think with these matchups in our division now, too, which I think we'll get to, year three for Jameer Gibbs, year three as a Lion for David Montgomery, Craig Reynolds having a good preseason. Looks like he's starting to get involved in plays more as another option. Sione Vaki, even too. You have different ways you can get at people in the run game. And that's without even using your fast wide receivers and end rounds and everything in that nature too. I think the run game, and I'm really curious to see how John Morton gets this run game, shows what they can do, because whether it's Demo pounding people through the middle, whether it's Gibbs finding open space and just going, I think this team can, ground and pound most teams in the NFL this year if they utilize it to their full strength.
That sounds, I mean, that's a very fair outlook on it. And I don't think I don't think anybody should have any concerns with the run game. I mean, if there may be some concern with the offensive line and how that, moves forward after some of the transition during the offseason.
Right.
But I think that'd be more of a concern if you only have one back and you don't have uh maybe the best offensive lineman um there, the best offensive tackle there. Um so yeah, I like that. Um Biggest concern heading into this year. Garrett, go ahead.
Oh, I think to me, it's no brainer. Defense staying healthy, in particular the edges. But to name the depth chart, I got the Lions website up. On one side, Marcus Davenport, Tyrus Wheat. Marcus Davenport out after week 3 last year.
Hmm.
Other side of the edge, Aiden Hutchinson, El Kadim Muhammad. Aiden Hutchinson out after week 5. I consider Derek Barnes sort of a hybrid edge, can do edge stuff from time to time. Out after what, week 3 last year?
Hmm.
Um, right now, Noah Lee McNeil. Um, you got DJ Reader who was out for some time last year. I mean, I think the D line were deep right now. Tyreek Williams, Pat O'Connor, Mekhi Wingo, Tyler Lacey on one, and then DJ Reader, Roy Lopez, Chris Smith. So I think we're good there. But then, linebacker, we're 3 deep on either one. Jack Campbell, Barnes, Zach Cunningham, Anzalone, Grant Stewart, Trevor Nowaski. But then it's like I'm worried about. Then you get in the secondary. How's Meek Robinson's elbow? Was it the elbow or the forearm that he broke in the
I,
playoffs?
let's say I think it was was it the forearm? I would say it was the forearm. Could be wrong though. Let's say it was his arm.
Yeah. So you're 2 deep there, and then I mean, can DJ Reed, who I thought was a great pickup, can he stay healthy? Um, Terry and Arnold, Khalil Dorsey. Dorsey is the one that broke his leg against Buffalo.
I believe so, yeah.
So, questions on that. So that's my thing there, because it is how we went 15-2 and 8-0 on the road with all the defensive injuries that we had is one of the modern marvels in in the National Football League in the late in 2024, if you ask me.
No,
Um,
it's incredible what they were able to do with all those injuries.
and you are going to have a road, and I think, yes, the schedule is important, the schedule is huge. The road schedule is a gauntlet. You need everybody as healthy as you possibly can, and that is obviously with, another thing too, Hassanin already getting hurt in preseason, because
Hmm.
God, that would have been fantastic for him to start the year too, because that takes the pressure off of an Aiden Hutchinson, off of a Marcus Davenport, and off of a Derek Barnes to get their reps in and get acclimated back to playing.
Let's just look at the bright side of this. Marcus Davenport made it through training camp.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
that's the good. That's I guess that's a silver lining to this right now. And if Marcus Davenport can remain healthy, and look, they haven't signed Zadarius Smith, so that's showing some confidence in what you have in Hutchinson on one side and Davenport on the other. So
It's like two lovers just take having a long break and just and with Cash Doll kind of being blended in with Darius Smith now online. um I think it's gonna happen eventually, and I get it. It's a business. People need to understand this is a business.
yeah.
You He plays week one, you pay him for the whole season. You gotta like we're in this for almost 4 months, folks.
Oh my God. The stress begins this Sunday. I can't.
Yeah. What about you?
My biggest concern, obviously, besides the stress that is going to be impacting us for the next 4 months, um,
Five if we even get to where we want to get to, but that's another
yeah,
song for another fucking time.
coaching on the defensive side of the ball. Calvin Shepard coming in for Aaron Glenn. How is he going to be able to adapt? How is he going to be able to work with a defense that is still relatively young?
Yep.
But a defense coming off last season, like you just mentioned, Garrett had a lot of injuries. How is he going to be able to adapt to that? How is he going to be able to adapt to injuries in this depth chart on the defensive side of the ball? I have all the confidence in the world that he can, Shepard can manage this thing through and, just come in and do a very good job for this team. Um, but as far as, there is still some worry in me there that a first year defensive coordinator is going to have some growing pains at the least opportune times throughout the season. So that's something that is, like I said, that's what's concerning me heading into this year because I mean, you saw with other teams as well. When you had two teams, or when you had a team that had to replace both coordinators, um, it didn't work out that well for that team that particular. See, what was it? Did the Eagles didn't they have to replace two coordinators a couple of seasons ago?
Was that
Um,
in between the Super Bowl loss and the Super Bowl
yes,
year? They started
yes,
off 10-1, but then they nosedived the rest of the year. So
yes. And then they ended up flaming out to, was it the Buccaneers in the first
yeah,
round, I believe.
Tampa beat them pretty hard. Um, Fun question for you because we brought up Zadarius Smith,
Sure.
Alex Anzalone
Uh-huh.
contract situation. Does it get settled in the season? Because that's going to be another
I
thing.
I don't think it does. I don't think it does. It seems like they're too far apart right now. And it just seems like these negotiations always get halted once the season starts.
Right.
So I'm going to say no, it doesn't.
Really go. It's going to be if it happens during the season, you're gonna. It's not going to be till like October and November. Get through a handful of games.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, no, that's going to be. Does that upset the vibe that this team has had? This team is a vibes team, a good vibes team, and does this upset this at all?
They got a good locker room, though. They got a good locker room. They got a good head coach who's able, to man. He's seems like one of the best locker room managers in the entire NFL. So, um, I don't think it'll upset the vibe. I just don't think it's going to get done this year just because it just seems like chances dictate that. I mean, we always see players, agents try to, cut things off once the season starts, just because it can become a distraction for a player.
Right.
I almost don't want, there to be any negotiations throughout the season, unless it's
Play to earn it.
incredibly, well, not just that, but unless it's incredibly close where it doesn't become a distraction. They're just waiting on a couple of, you know, dotting of the I's and crossing of the T's. So, um, that's my biggest, well, that would be my concern surrounding all of this, not the vibes, but the distraction. So,
Yeah.
um, okay, the Lions. I'm going to switch this up a little bit. The Lions will win the NFC North because
Lions will win the NFC North because I think they're right now, when I look at these other teams in the division, and yeah, some have leveled up, some have an everything vibe. I think the experiences of the last 2 years, and maybe two and a half when you account how they ended 22 despite not making the playoffs, I think will benefit this team. I think that edge and that hunger of things not yet accomplished, I think give the Lions the edge. In addition to talent, I think give them the North. Until they are beaten, they are the kings of the North.
Mhm.
So
I think they I think they win the NFC North because I think they have far and away the best quarterback in this division. Um, Caleb Williams entering his second year, entering an entirely new system.
right,
Um, Ben Johnson's system isn't, I don't think it's not easy. Um, you need a lot of talented players to make that happen. And I'm not saying Caleb Williams isn't talented. Um, he just needs a supporting cast around him.
right.
Um, and I don't know if they quite have that yet. Jordan Love took I think what was a big step backwards last season. How is he going to recover from that heading into this season? Um,
I think
I don't,
Green Bay, as much as Jordan Love is, Green Bay's dependent on how Josh Jacobs goes. They need to
yep.
establish the run. If they can establish a run game, they will be difficult for most days of the week. But can when you play all the teams that they do, are they going to be able to do that consistently for 17 weeks?
And this kind of carries over to JJ McCarthy too, because you still need to be able to throw the football in the NFL.
Yeah.
It is a back heavy league, but you still need to be able to throw the football. And I'm not confident JJ McCarthy can do that, mainly because of the system that he was brought up in college. Jim Harbaugh does not like to throw the football. He is a run first head coach.
Even
Um,
with the Chargers, look what they did. And that's
exactly.
having one of the in my opinion, one of the better QBs in the league right now in Herbert.
Yeah, very, very serviceable, good young quarterback in Justin Herbert. And they don't utilize him in a way that I think he's most effective or can be most effective. Uh, on the flip side of things here in Minnesota, I think that ends up hurting them with JJ McCarthy coming up through the system that he did with Jim Harbaugh. I mean, if they could almost switch and get traded, if JJ McCarthy can somehow get traded to the Chargers and Herbert can go to the Vikings, I think that would be massive for the Vikings. And you know what? I mean, the Vikings would give the Lions a huge, huge fit this year. But I just don't think that's going to happen with JJ McCarthy under center for them. So,
Are we
all
asking who
right.
do you think gets second in the North, or are we doing this after we break game by game?
I don't. I wasn't planning on doing that at all. But if you want to give who you think is incumbent second, who do you think is gonna give the Lions the biggest challenge for the North this year? Let's put it like that.
I don't think it's Chicago.
I don't think it's Chicago either.
I think they'll be better. Because Chicago started off 4-2, and then they went 1-10 the year or something like that. I think that was the case on there.
Hmm.
Maybe off on that. Our Bears friends can let us know on that when they check this out.
Fuck
Um,
off, Puck.
BJ. I think Green Bay finishes second in the division.
Do you think Green Bay?
Because
Okay.
because I think Minnesota, because here's the thing, Minnesota went 14-3 last year. Sam Darnold having the year of his career to essentially earn the bag in Seattle. JJ McCarthy coming off an injury that, he didn't have his rookie season. So now he's, how's he going to be with that? How's, everything in that situation? They still have Justin Jefferson. They still have everything on there. But I feel like there's a lot of, can they do it again? He seemed like to be really, really good in 22, 23, big nosedive. Big resurgence last year. Is that trend going to continue? Whereas Green Bay, I think Micah Parsons is a big move for them, but they gave up a lot, especially in the D tackle. Having to give up, a person that gave us fits. Um, and can they do enough offense? I think they can do enough to be the second team in the North. I think Green Bay's the playoff team. I don't think they're beating us for the North, though.
I'm gonna go with I think the Vikings are gonna come in second this year, just because I think that I mean, despite everything that I just said about JJ McCarthy, I think they have one of the better coaches in the NFL, in Kevin O'Connell. Um, and they have an elite defense. They have an elite defense.
Yeah.
And I think that's what ultimately gets it done for them, when it comes to challenging for top spot in the North. So I'm actually going to go Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears in the North.
And we're basically the same, except I put the Packers at second and the Vikings at third.
Sounds good. Um, let's see. I said why they will win the NFC North. Why will they lose the NFC North this year?
The injury bug, if they get it, with especially depending on when they get it, a gauntlet of a road schedule this year.
Hmm.
I mean, yes, they're one of only a couple teams to run the table in the road lately this year. Great, and they've been a great road team even when you go back to 23. But I think there's that little added caveat, and I think when you look at these teams that you're playing this year, um, it's that might do them in would be injuries.
Couldn't agree more. That's what it is for me. Given their schedule this year and given the schedule, if they suffer the injuries they did last year, they're not only losing the NFC North, they might not even make the playoffs this year, given how difficult that schedule is.
Yeah,
So it's definitely injuries. I hate saying that too. I hate taking that same answer from you, Garrett, but it's just so obvious, I think, um, coming off of last season and looking at the schedule this year. So,
yeah.
but let's also look at the schedule this year real quick. We can do this rapid fire because I know we gotta, you know,
Couple other
get to that.
topics.
Yeah, we got to get to a couple of other topics here. So, we'll go ahead and kind of run down the schedule just real quick. Um, we'll go with a win-loss for each week, which week one, it is going to be the Packers at Lambeau Field. Garrett, who are you taking?
For the fourth year in a row, the Lions win at Lambeau, which is
Uh,
insane to say. Insane to say.
it is insane to say, and I'm going to say it myself too, because I think they do win in Lambeau. Week two at home against the Bears.
When
I'm going with a win too. Week three on the road, Ravens.
I hate this game. Our worst game 2 years ago. Absolute worst game.
I hate it
Won't
too.
won't be as bad as 2 years ago, but I'm going Ravens win. Fuck you, Yowdy.
I'm going with a loss too.
our dear friend Mike Feldbush. Call him Ravens.
Next up, week four, hosting the Browns.
I'm gonna go win.
I am going win as well. Here's where things get a little difficult these next 2 weeks. Um, is that week five against the Bengals?
Who beat themselves up last year. That is a very good team in Cincinnati. Should have been a playoff team. Will be a playoff team, I think, this year. You go first on this one.
You know what?
This is tough. This one sucks. This one sucks.
I'm gonna go loss.
I'm gonna say win, but it's gonna be close. It's gonna be real fucking close.
Week 6,
Sunday night football.
Sunday Night Football. The
Ravens, by
Kansas
the way,
City
Monday
Chiefs.
night. So we have Monday night is gonna be our
Yes,
is a loss.
on the road against the Chiefs.
I think we beat the Chiefs. I think we can beat the
Okay,
Chiefs. I think it's close again, close, but I think we match up well with them.
I'm gonna go win, or I'm gonna go loss.
Okay, so you got three losses at this point right now. So you're having a. I'm 5-1 after week 6. You are 3-3.
Yes, and panic is setting into Detroit right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, week 7, the
Monday night,
Buccaneers at home.
early Monday night, 7 o'clock Monday night, because I think this is a Monday night doubleheader.
The Monday night doubleheader, so they have the West Coast game going on later that night. Do you want me to take it first?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go win.
Okay, so you're gonna win to go 4-3. We lost to Tampa Bay last year. We beat ourselves last year in that game. Tampa Bay does have I think if I'm not mistaken, they can shut you down a little bit on the run. They make it very, very difficult all the times playing it. I think this is where we stumble. I think right now, I think the Bucks. I want us to win Monday night, but I think the Bucks are going to take it.
All right, so you got a loss. Um, Heading into the bye week for week 8. Coming out of the bye week, we host the Vikings at home.
Win.
I'm going with a win as well. Um, Next up,
This this is gonna
that
suck. This is gonna suck.
rematch of that playoff game from last year. Washington Commanders on the road. I don't know. Do they play in DC or do they? No, I think they play in. Do they play in
Lando.
Maryland?
They play in
Is it?
Landover.
Oh, Orlando. Okay.
We do not do. When's have we ever won in Washington? If so, it's been like years. 425 game of the week. I fucking hate this.
I already know which way I'm going.
You go first. You go first
I'm
on
going
this.
win. I'm going
You're,
win.
you're gonna win.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna win because it's. I'm thinking it's kind of like the 49ers. What do we do in San Francisco? What do we? Okay, what do we do in Santa Clara? 'Cause can't say San Francisco. You say Santa Clara when you refer to the Niners. Um, it was ugly. People had a heart attack, but we won the damn game. Is what I'm saying. So, Commanders. Although I will say this though, I'm very curious to see how the Commanders do, especially with Terry McLaurin getting that making that money.
Yep. See if he is able to earn that money, I guess.
Hmm.
Week 11 at
So,
Philly.
Sunday night.
Sunday night. Yep.
I hate this so much. Uh, did we have any ties in the NFL last year?
I don't think so.
I want to say a fucking tie.
You can't do a tie.
Damn it. Fine. Loss.
I
Close
guess
game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think Saquon Barkley, man.
I'm going with a loss as well.
All right, so I'm at
Um,
three. So right now I am what, 7-3 at this point. I'm 7-3. Are you at 4 losses or 5 losses?
4 losses.
All right.
Next up, um, okay, Giants at home. I'm just putting a win in for both of us.
All right, here's what we're gonna give some background to this. Our friend Kate, big New York Giants fan. The league neighbors does great for me on for my fantasy football team, but let's be honest, we ain't losing to the fucking New York Giants at Ford Field leading into
Mm,
Thanksgiving. Nope.
yeah, we need to make sure I hope we don't have to clip this. Just, I hope we don't look back on this and just, whatever. Week 13, do we complete the
Thanksgiving,
season? Do we
Thanksgiving.
complete the season? Yes, Thanksgiving. Do we complete the season? It doesn't start at noon. It starts at 1 this year.
Yeah, they moved Thanksgiving. Our thing. Yeah, for some odd reason, our Thanksgiving games are going to be at 1 o'clock moving forward, which is
I don't care. That's fine with me. That's fine
man.
with me.
Dinner's going to be. Maybe I have to tell my family I can't see them until later because dinner's not till 5. Last year it was till 4:30.
Are they going to be able to sweep the Packers this year?
Oh God. Last lost 2 years ago to them on Thanksgiving. Hard grind out on Thursday night football last year. Ugh. Yeah, they're gonna be the Packers on Thanksgiving.
They can't lose another Thanksgiving game again. I'm going to go with a win. And plus, I don't know if I respect the Packers that much this year because of Jordan Love. So, um,
That's another
week
sound
four,
clip. People are gonna have like 10 sound clips to pull from us this year, this today.
week 14, we
Thursday night on
finally walk.
Amazon.
We finally welcome the Cowboys into Ford Field after it seemed like 10 straight years of playing Dallas in Jerry's world. I know which way I'm going. I'm going with a win in this one. And I think they destroy them too. And I think they bring Dan Skipper up from the practice squad just for this game.
Can Taylor Decker finally score a touchdown against the Dallas Cowboys?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you think I'm gonna root for the motherfucking Dallas Cowboys in here? Absolutely not.
You're going with this cow.
I'm going Lions by at least 2 touchdowns.
All right. That's what I like to hear. Gets a little tough for the following week on the road against the Rams.
Another 4:25 afternoon tilt. Um, we've played the Rams twice in consecutive years. Pain in the ass, difficult matchups. In my opinion, Matt Stafford's best games at Ford Field have been as wearing a Los Angeles Rams uniform because he was amazing in both of those games. Um, do you see the Rams as NFC West winners if they can stay healthy?
It's going to be between them and I can see it. Um, Obviously going to be between them and San Francisco, I think, this year. So,
Do you see San Francisco leveling back up?
yes. Um, Obviously, they need to keep Christian McCaffrey healthy.
Hmm.
Um, they need to kind of figure out their wide receiver room as well. But I think they can level up. And even though I'm not sold on Brock Purdy, there's a lot of question marks out there too. Not just with Brock Purdy, but also in LA with Matt Stafford and whether or not he's going to remain healthy this year. There are questions of whether or not he's going to even be able to start the season. So, um,
Where are you going with this one?
I'm going with a win.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be fun. I like seeing how we look in California.
Next up, hosting the Steelers at home.
God, this one is actually
Aaron
one.
Rodgers makes his return to Ford Field, maybe if he's still healthy at that point.
I have a lot of nicknames from Aaron Rodgers. You have heard me use them lately. I have used them also with my coworker, who's a Steelers fan, and he's been chuckling his ass off about it. I also don't like the Pittsburgh Steelers. You also know that for many reasons. Um, However, the Pittsburgh Steelers also have one of the top 3 or 5 defenses in the National Football League. There's no denying that. Um, it's going to be a grind. We beat the Steelers.
Um, yeah, I'm going with this. I'm going with a win over the Steelers as well. Um,
Christmas.
we've got the Vikings, yep, on Christmas Day.
While this
Jesus'
is
birthday
while
is
this is on Netflix, local area markets will have this game. So if you don't have net from what I read, so if you don't have Netflix, I believe it's CBS that gets it. The CBS, if you have a CBS markets, will have this, if I recall right, if it's local area. We have fun in Minnesota in the holidays. We won the North on Christmas Eve in 2023, one of the best days in a lot of our lives for a moment. Tears in the eyes of our Channel 451 compatriot Jaime Pedro Ventura. And I think that the Lions will bring a happy Christmas for us and beat the Vikings.
um I'm gonna say a loss. I'm gonna say they lose to the Vikings and are unable to complete the sweep um against our NFC North counterparts from Minnesota. And then finally, to finish out the season, week 18 in Chicago against the Bears.
January 4th, 2026. Hey, something about cold weather, right? Cold weather games, wind chill Chicago. What I said in week 2 about the Bears, no, we're beating the Bears. It might be actually closer this year than last year, but I think we beat the Bears.
I think we beat the Bears too. So, um, so here's
Oh,
how we stack up.
let me turn the volume down here because I'm setting my TV up. There we go.
Okay, so I think I have this correct. So, total of 17 games this year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have them going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 wins.
Yep.
So you have them going 14 and 3. That's definitely enough to win the NFC North,
Yep.
without question. Um, I have them going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have them going 12 and 5 this year.
And were they 12-5 in 23? I believe 12-5,
Were they
13
12
and
and
5.
5?
Something
Were
like
they
that. I'm
12 and
trying
5
to
in 23?
let me see. Beat the Chiefs, lost the Seahawks, beat the Falcons, beat the Packers, uh, beat the Panthers.
Either way,
I think yeah,
just remember the Vikings, the Bears, and the Packers all play the same schedule as well.
yeah.
So they are they have a tough grind as well this year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, it's not the exact same schedule, but they are playing the same division out of the AFC as well
Yeah.
this year. So, um, yeah, I think 12 and 5 gets it done as well in the NFC North. So, I think it'll be a little close at the end there, but still, I think the Lions are able to take it with 12 and 5, and I think they definitely take it at 14 and 3. So, anyways, Garrett, we got to move on though because we are over here. Quick, quick. Yes or no? Lions win the Super Bowl this year.
Yes.
I'm going yes as well. Fuck it, right?
Yeah. The NFC Championship is on my 38th birthday. So
Could
Yeah,
be yeah, it could be a very happy 38th birthday. It could be a devastating 38th birthday.
I've been through
Um,
worse lately. So,
all right, moving on. Real quick here to close out the show. The Detroit Tigers, take it away, Garrett.
all right. So, y'all probably checked out the latest edition of Mulleting, which was going into the first pitch of the series with the New York Mets that just culminated at Comerica Park. Going in at the Tigers, had a good week previously, 5-1 in the home week. 2-4 on the road last week. 3 game sweep at the loss at the Athletics. Took 2 or 3 against the Royals. Lost 2 or 3 against the Mets this past series. Back and forth Monday. 10-8 the final. Not a great day pitching yesterday. 12-5 the final. However, today, solid performance by Casey Mize, his best in a while. Kerry Carpenter would have a huge 3-run home run in the seventh inning, put the game away. 6-2 win, although some fears and probably quells. Kyle Finnegan, while warming up for his bullpen appearance, felt some sort of growing tightness, went away and went into the dugout and was listed as, yeah, growing tightness. Not sure how long that is out. So will what a Baker start, and then Rafael Montero finished up. White Sox next 3 games this weekend at Comerica, and then next week on the road, 3 at the Yankees and 3 at the Marlins. Are any concern? How do you have any concerns with how this Mets series went, or is it just? I mean, the Mets have a great lineup. I mean, Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Nimmo. This team can hit at any given point, and I just think we gave them too many meatballs in this series.
I mean, pitching is a concern against good teams, and that's what you're going to be facing in the playoffs. You're going to be facing good teams in the playoffs. So
Right.
yeah, that is a concern. The Finnegan injury is a concern as well, considering how lights out he's been at the back end
Yeah.
for them this year. So yeah, two big concerns right there. Um, well, that's actually one concern when it comes to pitching in general. Um, I'm not really concerned about anything else. Right now my focus is on the playoffs and how they stack up against some of these better teams.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously you're not going to be facing the Mets unless you get the World Series and they're in the World Series, but still you're going to have to contend with some good teams coming out of the AL. Um, I mean if the playoffs were to start today,
Tigers would be
um
the two in the AL.
Tigers would be number two. They'd get the bye in the American League, along with Toronto. And you would have Houston playing Seattle and the Yankees playing Boston. Um, and again, those are obviously, tough teams up and down there. Um, they're going to be going to New York later on in this month to play the Yankees. They got Boston still on the schedule too, don't they?
Boston's the last 3 games of the season, Friday through Sunday at
Boston's
Fenway.
yeah, Boston's the last three games of the season. They took care of business this year against the Astros.
Yeah.
Um, and they got swept by Seattle heading into the All-Star break. Um, did they get swept by Toronto too?
They lost 3 or 4 to Toronto. They took 2 or 3 in
Lost.
Toronto, lost 3 or 4 at home, and Reese Olson got hurt.
That's right. So yeah, pitching definitely. How does it stack up against some of these better American League lineups as we head into the as we get ready to get into the postseason baseball here? Right now, I don't.
Jays and Reds are tied 5-5 right now. The Reds had a lead to start the game off. If the Reds win tonight, the Tigers reclaim their half-game lead for the best record in the American League.
And the Royals are not playing tonight, correct?
The Royals are currently playing the Angels in Kansas City, bottom of the second, no
Oh, okay, I
score.
see that. Because that's still something to look out for. Right now, the Tigers' magic number is down to 14. With the
Right.
win today, they were able to drop that one down from 15 to 14. If the Royals lose tonight, that number goes down to 13. So keep an eye on that magic number. It's getting down there. And like I said, we were talking on the phone the other day, Garrett. I think we're out of time here for the division. Tigers right now have a 9.5 game lead, with not even a full month of baseball left to go. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I think I think the Tigers are in good shape when it comes to the division. Like I said, I'm just concerned once we get into the postseason and our pitching. So
Yeah. All the best we're wishing to Chris Paddock. I know he had it was announced that he was taking some bereavement leave, I think a death in the family. Obviously I know he had a bullpen appearance that was a little bit rough. I'll take it from firsthand experience recently on that. That shit's going through it, all that can be really, really tough. Hopefully the time away with family and that can, allow him to um come back as, strong as possible on that. So want to
yeah, it's a
wish
tough
open up.
spot to put him. Excuse me, it's a tough spot to put him into, given what he's dealing with. So I don't know about that call from AJ Hinch, but I'm glad he's getting some time off to head back and be with his family.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, other than that, it's who was it? I think it was what Andy Dirk said about the pitching. I think location, location, location. If this team nails their pitches, nails their spots, they can be a nightmare for most teams. If you leave one or two hanging on the plate against good teams, they're gonna make us pay. So, we want to talk anything else, Tigers, or we want to go Detroit City?
Let's finish out with Detroit City.
Did we talked about, I think the last time we did a cast, did we talk about the win against Tampa Bay on the 23rd? Trying to remember if we did that or not. Might have not. Um, Two matches though since lately at Keyworth Stadium, August 23rd, 2-0 win at home to Tampa Bay Rowdies. August 30th, this past one taking on San Antonio in the West. San Antonio jumped out to an early lead. City equalized in the second half via Kobe Hernandez Foster free kick. Very chippy match to finish. 1-1 the final. Two matches upcoming this Saturday at home versus Orange County SC in the West. From the Western Conference. That is at Keyworth Stadium, 7 o'clock kickoff. And then 3 days later, a week from tonight, the final matchup again, next to final matchup against Western Conference opposition, and that is at New Mexico United on September the 10th. The final matchup against Conference opposition this year will be when Lexington SC comes to Keyworth on September 20th, which is the following game after that. Um, we've talked about Kobe Hernandez Foster, I think maybe being the piece that this team needed in the midfield. So how are you feeling about that statement, especially after the matchups we've just had?
Huge get for them. You only wonder where this team would be if Kobe Hernandez Foster was there for the entire season.
Yep.
Um, I think they're in a much better spot if he's there for the entire season. And obviously, I mean, I think that's, pretty obvious. He's the glue. He's been the glue that is kind of united that backfield in those forwards up front. Ever since, Maxi went to Rhode Island, there's been a giant hole there. I don't think this team was anticipating Jope having the health issues that he's had to start the
Yeah.
season. And he still hasn't, it still doesn't seem like Jope is still up to form, given the injury that he's had and had to deal with, and, the setbacks that he's had with that. But Kobe Hernandez Foster has been a huge addition for them, and it may very well save their season bringing him on board. It's hard to imagine where they would be right now if Kobe Hernandez Foster didn't find his way to Detroit City FC. Uh, because you look at a couple of these games where he's been big in. Because I think his first game was that Rhode Island game, right?
Yeah, it's Rhode Island. He's played against Rhode Island, home to Indy, at North Carolina, home to Tampa, home to San Antonio.
Yeah, because you look up and down, some of these games. Um, Obviously, they lost that game against Rhode Island. I mean,
They were okay. I think they had some chances to take the lead.
Hmm.
Will rue the handball. Uh,
Yes.
but other than that, like that result's preventing them from having a winless, undefeated run that's bordering on 6 weeks now. Had
I
that,
mean, Kobe,
yeah,
yeah, and Kobe Hernandez Foster had a massive game against North Carolina on the road. I don't think they win that game if Kobe Hernandez Foster isn't in that lineup.
fed the ball to
And
Darren
same thing,
Smith for him to end his goal drought.
yeah, and same thing with San Antonio, the last game. I think that that was a they look like a totally different team coming out of that half. And Kobe Hernandez Foster was once again massive in that game. 7.9 thought mop rating, had a goal off that banger of a free kick that he had. Um, Again, I don't know if they win that game if Kobe Hernandez Foster, or I don't think they tie that game. Do they draw that game? Obviously, he scored the goal, but that
They
first
look
half
good
was
in the
ugly.
yeah. The
That first
first
half
half
was
was yeah. First, San Antonio was the better team in the first half. City were the better team in the second half.
Mhm. So yeah, he's been a massive, massive get for them. Very well could have saved the season for them, and is very well may propel them into the playoffs just from one acquisition. And then another couple, another big piece of news when it comes to the team. Stephen Carroll made his return. Also last match against San Antonio after missing some time after undergoing that knee scope. So it was good to see him back. Again, another guy that is a vital piece, this time on that back line. So I thought the team did a very, very good job though, from a defensive standpoint without him there. Stephen Carroll is only going to help things for him though moving forward in this season. So
100% when you look at also the fact that still as more than that being the captain of this team and being that pulse. I think there's something I think that still means something. Being the captain of your side still means something,
sure.
especially for as long as he's been for that. And I think that'll be very beneficial. I mean, the city is tied on points right now with Hartford Athletic in the Eastern Conference. Depending on where you look at, if you look at FOTMob, it'll say we're fifth. If you look at elsewhere, it'll say we're sixth because Hartford does have the head-to-head over us in the regular season. Hartford is losing to Indy 11 right now. They are the midweek game. Um, but I think this is going to be a very difficult run. I mean, there's 8 matches left for Detroit City. Um, Orange County home, New Mexico away, Lexington home, Louisville City leaders of the Eastern Conference home, North Carolina third in the East home, at second place Charleston, and you're at Tampa Bay Rowdies, who are bottom in the East, but still could be a difficult matchup to end the year. Um, can't really slip up in any of those.
The winnable game too coming up this Saturday. It's not
Yep.
nothing is guaranteed. But Orange County, not world beaters. Last time Orange County came in, Detroit City FC looked like shit. They ended up losing that game.
Yeah, I wish I didn't go to that game. I was not happy about that. It was hot too.
Uh,
It was hot.
it was
I needed a cold shower from it because it was so like I was out of it that bad.
it was very, very hot. I want to say it was one of those Canadian wildfire days too, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
It was
but
stupid. That's what it was stupid. That was stupid.
But again, very, very winnable game coming up this Saturday at Keyworth against Orange County FC, who are coming off a 4-4 draw to Birmingham. And the week before that was a 1-0 loss to Tulsa. So,
For Tulsa though, for our USL sickos that listen to this, Tulsa having a year unlike others, a double digit lead in the Western Conference. Um, so shit's wild. That's all we're gonna say about that. Um, so we'll keep people in the loop. There might be some stuff. City centric folks. We'll be back at it
they
with
have
some
our they have,
stuff.
they have our boy Alex DeLuce still on that squad as well, and Trevor Amon on Tulsa. So
God, I forgot I'm on with Sacramento for Tulsa. Um, but yeah, other than that, we'll keep people in there. Is both centric stuff. Is the Tunnel Talk this week, or are they going next? Make City Make Spence is next week. So folks
Make
be
City Make
look.
Spence. Yeah, Make City Make Spence is going to happen next week. I think we're probably going to record on Tuesday with that one. Does that work
Yeah.
for you, Garrett? 'Cause
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't know
good.
if you saw the text.
Yeah, we're doing Tuesday. I'm planning Tuesday, so that'll drop. That might
That
drop on Wednesday before the New Mexico match.
yeah, that'll drop on. Oh shit, yeah, we got that Wednesday match too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thankfully,
that's
it's in New
gonna be
Mexico. You got time.
so that'll be a late night for me to get that out. That that Wednesday. Um, I think
I'll
we might
probably
have Tunnel
tease.
Talk.
I'll probably tease too. Expect the molding or short or quick cast.
Okay,
Um, because we'll have three more Tigers games and we'll have a Lions season opener to digest.
sounds good. And Tunnel Talk may be recording tonight.
Are they doing?
Um,
Did they set it? I know they've been talking about it.
they've been talking about it. I know there's some things happening earlier next week. Uh, so I don't know if everybody's going to be available early next week to record. I don't know. It's kind of up in the air right now, but I don't, they might be recording tonight. I'm not sure. So I may have to hop on that. I don't know. I don't know.
Which means I got to record an intro. Shit.
Well, I guess we gotta check the chat. So this is all happening in real time right now. So yeah. Anyway,
Welcome to Majors Detroit per day in the life of all of us folks, and just wonder how do we get it all together? We don't even know
we
that sometimes ourselves.
yeah, we don't get it together. I'm actually gonna check. I'm checking the chat right now. Um, nothing. I don't see anything about recording tonight, so maybe it's not happening tonight. But anyways, let's
It's been fun.
yeah, it's been fun. I guess we can go ahead and I'll throw out there where you can find us, detroit.themajorsports.com. You can get linked up with all of our socials from there on Twitter, Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, at TMS Next Detroit. Also, make sure you like and subscribe our YouTube page, youtube.com/majors TV. And then make sure you like and subscribe this podcast and all major podcasting platforms, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Uh, Leave a 5-star review, subscribe, help us in that algorithm. You can find me at TMS Next Adam on Twitter and Blue Sky as well. Go ahead, Garrett.
And you can find me at GM Comats, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, and gmcomats.bsky.social for the Blue Sky folks. Also for the Detroit City centric folks, also obviously there's a Make City Makes Sense you can find on the Majors TV, YouTube, as well as Make City Makes Sense where you can find all your podcast stuff. Channel 451 on YouTube at Channel 451 and 451DET on Twitter. Blue Sky's 451det.bsky.social. So yeah, I think it's good to be back in the rhythm of all that. It's a wild ass time going in there for Detroit sports. Final month of baseball, Lions season starting. Hell, in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be talking about preseason stuff, I'm sure, for the Winds and the Pistons. Thankfully, it's not tonight. And we'll obviously update folks on the ins and outs of Detroit City FC. So, like I said, regular next episode, Detroit City Sportscast, I'd say, a couple weeks probably from now. But we'll do, maybe earlier. You never know, folks.
Yeah, I mean, we might be, maybe we can get to one next week. I know early in the week is a little busy, especially we have a midweek city match next week. So,
Yeah,
stay tuned. We may be able to record end of next week, but, if not end of next week, definitely probably the beginning of the following week.
indeed. So, for
All
Adam,
right.
Garrett here. And until next time, folks, catch you later.
See you later.